How about I add the 9 in there too? So it'd be like this. You know? Like, let's walk through that. That would be 3, 5, 6. And then you got the blues tones. And then you got the ordinary pentatonic. Then you got the blues pentatonic. And then you got the ordinary pentatonic. And then you got the high E string, same as the low E string. 3, 5, 6. And that 5th fret is your 9. You can do the same sequence that we did with the Aeolian mode, the minor scale. You can do it with this kind of hybrid pentatonic where you go. You know? You can basically, what you say is like you can take these pentatonics as a skeleton. And you can add one note to them. Right? You can add one note to them. So let's try taking a C minor pentatonic right here. Play the C minor pentatonic. Good. And now, let's add the 6th, right? Like they do in the rhythm section. Let's add that 6th into our scale. So we got 1. And we could go, that's the 2nd, yeah. And actually, you could do what you just did. I went down to the 2nd fret. I've got root, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then I move it up 1 fret for the flat 7, and then the root, and then the 4th fret, and then the 6th fret, and then I add the 5th fret on the high E string. There we go. So that was... Yeah. And then the low E string. Yeah, and then you go to the low E string, and we'll add the 6th there too. It'd be 6th fret, 5th fret, 3rd. All right. So now our C minor pentatonic up and down would be... And when I'm doing this part, I'm using my index and then sliding up. You don't have to do it that way. You can go. But I like to go. You know, it's like get a little slide in there, and it's kind of easy. Puts me in place to do if I wanted, instead of a little harder between those fingers. And there I actually added the 9. So now you can go through and add the 9 and the 6 if you wanted, you know. But that's kind of tricky. Oops, 9. And then you're basically playing you're playing G Ionian now. Or Aeolian, my bad. Jeez, I'm out of it today. Anyway. So think about it this way. Think about what notes you can hit outside of your pentatonics and hit them in the sweet moment, you know? So basically, you're playing... Don't be afraid to hold notes out, especially in a song like this. So be like... You know, that's over the... to the G minor. Shouldn't do the whammy bar. And then you've got the E flat. All right. Now, if you want to just survive the E flat, you can play C minor pentatonic. Because that's like the relative minor. And so you can do minor pentatonic. That'd be a safe bet. All right. So when it goes to E flat, do C minor as your first safest option. Then when it goes after your E flat, it goes to the G minor. So you just go back to G minor. So E flat, you play C minor. Cool. And there what I'm doing is I'm bending up to the 9, which sounds kind of neat. It's the major 7 of the E flat. And then when it goes to G minor, then you just go back to G minor. Then when it goes to G minor major 7, you go back, you hit the major 7 in your minor pentatonic scale, right? So G minor, you got, and then it goes to C minor to G minor. Then when it goes to the E flat major, you do C minor, right? Then it goes to G minor to major, and then major or minor back to, you know, when I'm saying major, I mean major 7. It's got a G minor with a major 7. You can flat 5 in there if you want, and then back to G minor. Cool, and then do your E flat, and then to your G minor, to the major 7. You know, like that.